When is the last trumpet? What does it mean when the Apostle Paul says here in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, that at the last trumpet, verse number 52, at the last trumpet, what's he talking about? Now, let me just say this. There are some people that believe that the last trumpet is reference to the last trumpet that's mentioned in the book of Revelation. I don't believe that. I'm going to tell you right off, I don't believe that. And this is the reason why I don't believe that. You need to understand what the trumpet sounding was used for. I have up in my office a shofar. And yesterday, as I was finishing the preparation for these podcasts, I got that shofar out, and I don't sound it, and I don't blow it very well. It's quite comical. Maybe I ought to make a video on it, and everybody can laugh. But what was that shofar? What was it used for? What was that trumpet used for? You know, in these days, they didn't have the trumpets that we would relate to today. They had the shofar, and they had other long trumpets, but they didn't have what we would think of today. And the trumpet was used for this purpose. It was used to call the people to a meeting. Now let me repeat that, and I want you to understand that. The last call to the meeting is the rapture of the church of Jesus Christ. Think about that. What's the Apostle Paul talking about? He's talking about the time where Jesus comes in the clouds and the trumpet is sounded, and that trumpet isn't sounded so that people will be amazed at its sound. No, that trumpet is sounded to call us home, to call us into this place that's imperishable, to call us into this place where we are fully inheriting the kingdom of God. We will all be changed. Those who have died before us, the saints that have died before us, their bodies are going to be changed. You know, they're not going to come up out of those coffins in the same body that they were placed in that coffin. That body is going to be completely 100% changed. It's going to be a body. It's going to be a body like Jesus' resurrected body. And if you don't know what that's like, go back to last week's podcast. But they're going to be changed. And when are they going to be changed? They're going to be changed as Jesus comes in the clouds. And he blows that trumpet and he's saying, come on, church. Come on, saints, you who are dead, you who are alive and remain. Come on. I'm calling you home. Ho, ho, ho. That's about enough to make me Pentecostal. Doesn't that get you excited? Doesn't that cause inside of you a hope and expectancy? The last trumpet. It's not some eschatological thing. It's that calling of his people home, all of his people, the dead and those who are alive. It's calling us all home. And how's it going to happen? It's going to happen instantly. In a time period that can't ever be measured, less than a nanosecond. We're going to hear that call and pow, we're going to be changed. And our bodies are going to take on the imperishable. And we're going to begin to experience the kingdom of God like we've never experienced it before. Going back to verse number 52, and I'm excited. I hope you are too. If you're driving down the road, I hope you're still got both hands on the wheel. When's it going to happen? When Jesus comes to call us all home. Back to verse number 52. For the trumpet will sound. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just as sure as I'm sitting in this chair right now, it will happen. There's coming a homegoing for every saint of God. Jesus is going to come and he's going to blow that trumpet, and the purpose of that trumpet is to call us home. So Paul writes and he says, for the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable. They will be raised imperishable. Those of us who have loved ones that were believers and they've gone on to be with the Lord, they're going to come back into that body, and instantly that body's going to be changed. And it's going to be imperishable. Whew. The resurrection. And then the last phrase of verse number 52, and we will be changed. Notice he uses this word will 3 times. 3 times. The trumpet will sound. The dead will rise or be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. It will happen. Whew. Verse number 53. For this perishable must put on the imperishable, and this mortal must put on immortality. It has to happen. It must happen. Well, you say, well, why does the resurrection have to happen? Because we cannot live in heavenly places. We already talked about that this week. We can't live in heaven in our earthly bodies. Now, we're going to have a body, but it's not going to be like this earthbound body, this earth-dependent body. And so it's got to happen. It must happen, for this perishable it has to put on the imperishable. The resurrection has to happen for us to go to heaven and to live with an eternity with the Father in a body. It has to happen. The resurrection is a must. And then he goes on in verse number 53, and this mortal, this body that's subject to death, that's what it means to be mortal, must put on immortality. It must put on a body that's going to live for eternity. That's why the resurrection is so important. I hope you join us again tomorrow as we continue this teaching on the resurrection of the saints.